Oh! 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 Oh shit! Yeah! Oh! Jesus Christ. In a genre that has become really saturated with a lot of roguelites, it can be really hard to stand out. But I think Erosion does a fantastic job of standing on its own 2 feet and bringing its own identity to the table. And here's why. So Erosion comes to us by Plot Twist as the developer, and this is a roguelike shooter, plays similar to Hades, but instead of hacking and slashing things, you're shooting stuff with your gun. It's basically a Western, almost with a sci-fi twist to it, where the premise is that your daughter has been taken and you need to go find her. You need to go through what is called the Pillar to try to save her. And every time you die, this is the interesting part, is that 10 years goes by. So there's a true cost to dying in all these levels. Whenever you die, a decade goes by, the world outside changes. You kind of shift timelines. And essentially, I assume from what I did as a playtest, it's going to be game over once you hit a certain amount of time and it's too late to save your daughter because she's probably super old or gone. So, the premise is super interesting to me. I love the kind of Western sci-fi aesthetic. I love the idea of there being a real cost to true death. You do get mulligans on each run you go through in the Pillar. So when you die, you don't immediately fast forward 10 years. You can kind of use some of these, basically these tokens to reset and do that same run again in that same time period. But also what really interests me about this game, beyond its roguelike mechanics, which there are, when you go through the levels, you go through and you get different randomly generated abilities to use to fight bosses and things like that. But on top of that, the overworld I thought was super interesting. So you go through this whole thing, this whole Western outside of the Pillar, and there are quests to do. There's NPCs to interact with. We came across a cult that was like a chicken cult. And there was a quest with another town to try to stop them. I opted to help the town. I didn't even know that there was a quest at first. I just started murdering these chicken cultists because they were creepy. And so I turned this quest in, and then when I died, I come back 10 years later, and the town that was kind of like ramshackle and rough is bigger. But there's places that are closed down. When I talked to the mayor initially, he did seem kind of greedy, and now like he's like a king in this place. So I'm thinking, did I do the right thing? Like, it's so cool how the world reacts and will change based on your choices. So it seemed like a huge overworld with a lot of stuff to do. So it's like having two different games smushed together, which I think in this case works really freaking well. Like, I could not put this game down when I did the playtest. I also really enjoy the voxel graphics. I know they're not for everyone, but they're for me. Seeing these guys bounce up and down with their super long legs running around, I really enjoy it. I also love the destructibility and how the particles kind of blow apart. It's very satisfying when you're destroying enemies and using the environment to your advantage, that kind of thing. Visuals overall, I think, were very well done. Great use of lighting and shadows, colors, character artwork on point. I truly believe that when Erosion comes out, this game could very well be a contender, either a GOTY contender or an indie GOTY contender, but I think it's going to be in the conversation regardless, especially if you like something like Hades. This game does not have a release date yet. There is no demo for it out yet. There was a playtest. Fingers crossed there will be another one, but until then, keep an eye on this game.